Skyrim is a bad game because I can't hug my friends or my husband. Maybe I want to let the people in my life know I appreciate them dearly, even if they just have 3 lines of base dialogue. And before one of you says something like, "Oh, why don't you just play Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing or some other game where you get to be nice to people," please understand that I enjoy hunting the city guards for sport, but that doesn't mean that I'm not full of love. I think my housemate is blasting party in the USA. We are in Scotland. He is Scottish. It is 4:30 AM. Everyone is American on 4th of July. Wanted someone to climb into this hole in the library for us. Job requirements: limber, trusting, has not read The Cask of Amontillado by Edgar Allan Poe. So I'm watching the first Silent Hill and noticed my cat was too. Here he is digging it. And here he is not digging it anymore. One time in freshman year, my biology teacher was teaching us about chromosomal disorders, and apparently, some women can have 3X chromosomes, and she went to go look up some pictures of what some women afflicted with this condition look like. Unfortunately, my teacher typed in XXX females, and that worked about just as well as you'd expect. My wife has said to our cat, "You are the cause of all entropy." I don't know how, but I'm going to blame you for all my problems. Life on this earth is brief. What do you think about the plight of the Jewish people, Miss Kitty? You have to ask yourself, Miss Kitty, would you rather be comforted by a lie or strengthened by the truth? You occupy a very small space in a very large world, but your conscience is ever the umbrella. You also have a cute kitty butt. After the cat ate a ribbon and threw it up, you wanted to be beautiful on the inside, didn't you? You understand that life is meaningless and we must take pleasure where we can. And for you, that is on this blue blanket. I will fight you in hell upon a mound of bones, Miss Kitty. One time in grade 6, I went with my boyfriend to his school dance, and when the song Low came on, I saw him across the gym grinding with a grade 5, and I got so mad that when Single Ladies played, I stuck my hands up in the air and looked him right in the eyes when Beyonce asked all the single ladies to put their hands up, and that's how I broke up with my first boyfriend. So, I'm sitting in chemistry, and the guy behind me was like, "Hey, Ashley," and I turn around, he's like, "Wanna tie?" And I just look at him all confused, and he opens his backpack, and it is filled with nothing but neckties, and he says, "White shirt with grey Batman symbol, have this one," and pulls out this skinny grey tie. And long story short, I now have a new necktie. Update: I've passed 5 different people who had ties and yelled, "You met the kid too?" I have a tie dealer in my school. Cartoon Network's internship application page is insane. There are so many bright neon colors, and Princess Bubblegum is asking me if I'm a grad student. I interviewed for a position once, and every time they flipped through my portfolio, they made a Johnny Test whip crack noise. Steven Universe denied me healthcare benefits. Youth culture is feeling like if you don't succeed by 25, someone will literally come kill you. I've never identified with something more than this. It's gonna be the Duolingo bird too. My little sister officially turned 10 yesterday, and because I'm in another state, I couldn't see her, so I called instead to sing happy birthday, and when I was done, she whispered, "Gay," and hung up on me. Is that the same sister who put her burned hand on your heart because it was so nice and cold? That would be the sister. Today the lady behind me in line at the grocery store checkout politely tapped my shoulder, and when I turned around, she motioned toward my giant bundles of kale and asked, "What do you do with your kale? Do you cook with it, or make juice, or?" And I admitted there, in front of God in the world, "Oh, I feed it to my peacocks." And she just looked so taken aback that I said, "I'm sorry, that's not the answer you were hoping for." And that's how I learned other people don't really know what to do with kale either. We're all pretty sure it's edible, though. People are sending me kale recipes, like they honestly believe I will try to eat bird food. Greek myths are fucking great, because their gods are so human. They argue, they f up at things, they make fun of each other, they piss each other off. It's great. There's so much human interaction, and then Christianity comes in like that guy, and is all like, oh, my god is infallible, and knows everything, and immortal, and everywhere at once, and you can't see it, but it's totally there, and stronger than everything. Shut the f up, Christianity. Go take a writing class. Did you just call the Christian god a Mary Sue? We should domesticate seals. You ring someone's doorbell, and instead of hearing a dog's bark, you hear a super deep terrifying seal bark, and you hear a loud wet flopping noise. That's the world I want to live in. The older I get, the more dog I become. Obsessed with being given affection, and being told I'm doing a good job. Losing my damn mind every time I get to go for a nice walk. Terrified of the doorbell. Ladies, if he says, if you love me, you'd have sex with me, run. Run away, and never return. This is the one and only time I'm ever gonna fking tell you to listen to this wipe of a lion. This goes for everyone. Don't think women don't do this too. If anyone says, if you love me, you'd just leave. Wished I'd have realized this at 18. Zoo. Excuse me, they keep the humans in there. I'm cat sitting a very aesthetic one-eyed cat. Here he is in the sink crying for me to pet him. Although say no to drugs assemblers in school were whack, I never once had the pothead kids push the devil's lettuce on me. They'd be like, hey, you wanna smoke some of this? Here blunt of marijuana? And I'd be like, no, thanks, I don't smoke. And they'd be like, okay, cool, and never bother me about it again. Drinkers? No chill at all. Even into adulthood, people act like I've slain their child when I say I'm completely sober. Like every single time I've said no to drinking, some person is like, what about jello shots? There's barely any in it. Or they'll leave me a solo cup of wine in case you change your mind. And when by the end of the night I haven't had it, they're all, you didn't want any? Like, yeah, I said I didn't. Anti-drug says are fine, but they gotta talk about drinking too, because never once did anyone I know who did drugs push me to do it too. But everyone I tell I'm sober tries to find a way to get me to drink, like I said I'm sober, but changed my mind, or something. But seriously, if alien plants ever show up, citrus and oaks are going to be trying to breed with them immediately. We make fun of ourselves for being willing to F aliens, but I guarantee you that citrus and oaks are right there with us, aggressively trying to cross-pollinate with any new and interesting conquests. All this time, the real hoes were the lemons, not the women who stole them. Science side of Tumblr, please explain why ice water tastes better than regular water. Because ice is water, and water is water. So if you put ice in water, it's like double water. God damn it, science side of Tumblr. Me, age 7. This Pokemon is named Cupcake because it's random and cute. Me, age 12. This Pokemon is named Petri, named after Petricha, the name for the scent of rain. A close second was Nimbus, named after nimbostratus clouds in which rain forms. I was very tempted to go with Proteus, a Greek shapeshifter who ruled the sea, but I realized that would be more fitting for a Pokemon with a stronger attack stat. I researched these names endlessly, and they took 2 hours to come up with. Me, age 15. This Pokemon is named Sleepy because he looks sleepy. Me at 26. This Pokemon is named Osh. So, when they use an attack it says, Osh, he used double slap. Odd acknowledgement in a genetics paper, we thank the considerable physical distance separating our two universities, which prevented us from killing each other over minor details during the writing. This is all forms of collaboration. This is the most honest comment I've ever seen. Had it not been for the distance separating our universities, I would have slaughtered you. If giving fairies your name makes it belong to them, then does the same apply to giving them any of your other possessions as well? Fairy. Can I take your coat? Me. Sure, thanks. Fairy. No, thank you. Puts on my coat and walks out. Me. Wait, what the F? Wording is everything with the fee. Virginity only matters if you're lighting the black flame candle to summon witches. Actually, when people talk about blood of a virgin, what's actually meant is virgin blood, aka blood, that's never before been used in a ritual. Therefore, virginity doesn't matter for anything. Noises of comprehension and frustration. That I didn't make that connection before. Like olive oil friends. It's not because the olive never had sex. Reblog, if you have virgin blood. Holy sh, so today in class the weirdest fking sh happened. A bee got into my class, and everyone was freaking out. So all of a sudden, this kid goes, I got it, and he fking pulls out a rubber fking band, and shoots it the F down in one try. My teacher just stood there. Nobody knew how to react. Son, I'm here to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative. The true American experience is wondering if you just heard firecrackers or gunshots. Please, tell me this is a joke. Bonus points. One is illegal in your state, and it is not the gun. No. Challenge mode. It's the 4th of July. Spin the bottle, except instead of kissing each other, you fight. For anyone interested, consider the game Slap or Kiss. We played this game so many times senior year of college. I don't know why our drunk selves were so obsessed with slapping and kissing each other. It's exactly what it sounds like. 1. You spin the bottle. Whoever it lands on will either have to slap or kiss you. 2. You, the spinner, leave the room. Everyone else gets to vote on whether you will get slapped or kiss. Majority wins. The person who the bottle landed on doesn't get a vote. 3. When it's decided, you're called back in for the surprise slap or kiss, and everyone watches with anticipation, because they all know, and you have no idea, and I love it. Bonus. Combine it with truth or dare. If you don't like the truth or dare you got, you can choose to do slap or kiss instead. Plants are just like too much sun, not enough sun, ground too wet, ground too dry. The pH balance is wrong. There's not enough drainage. I don't like terracotta. Feed me. Stop feeding me. God was killed here. I do not vibe with this soil. Then plants in nature be like, oh, is that a crack in the concrete? Me. Flips dog's ear inside out. Me. Can you hear better like this? Why do people call it F, marry, kill when they could call it bed, wed, behead? Easy there Henry. Who's Henry? What the F? Faint laughter from Brighten. History teachers crying. But what can you actually do with a degree in? Insert subject here. Write fanfiction with a high degree of accuracy in a very specific field. Next question. Tolkien Ghost wrote this. I shall take that as an incredibly strong compliment. The fact that moray eels have a pharyngeal jaw that they can just move from the back of their throat is pretty fking awesome, but also terrifying. Moray eels are wild undersea creatures who I respect from a distance, and that distance being on land, from behind my computer screen. Crab. RF. I'm in a bit of a conundrum. Maybe if I wiggle, I can. Moray eels pharyngeal jaw. No. When the jaws open wide, and there's more jaws inside that's a moray.